Okay, good morning. Good morning. It's 8:45 on Webinar Wednesday, and we're so grateful for you guys coming in, you vendors who are interested in the Webinar Wednesday program. I'm Diane Michael. I own Callan Group Communications. It's a marketing agency, and me and my girlfriend and CAM partner, Lindsay Lombardi, started the Beyond the Boardroom almost 2 years ago. It's crazy, time flies. We always start on time. Lindsay is busy with graduation plans for one of her three kids. And I said, you know what? I got this. So it's just going to be me riding solo today. But I do have a new puppy, Minnie. She's a German Shepherd. She's 3.5 months old, and she has a mouth on her. So if you hear her, I apologize. But this is going to be about 20 minutes tops, and I'll have time in between this and Webinar Wednesday starting at 9:30 for any questions that you may have. And thank you again for being here with us. So I started my marketing company almost 20 years ago, but I started working in the CAM world about a decade ago. And I met Lindsay through a vendor at BAM Volusia, which is the Building Association Managers of Volusia. They were one of our Callan Group clients back in the day, and he introduced me to her, and we've been thick as thieves ever since. We came together about 2 years ago, wanted to work together, didn't know how, and just started brainstorming about the challenges of a CAM. And then my company has a lot of vendors that do business with HOA and COA associations, and the pass through are the CAMs. They're the in between the decision makers and the vendors. And so we decided that education should be free, that we could go out and we could get underwriting from vendors, and we could put on a great program for CAMs, who then in turn we would recommend those vendors to, who we've coined association allies. And then we can help everybody connect the dots and to do business with one another. So Lindsay has an interesting vantage point because she has been in the real estate and CAM world for over a decade as well, the real estate side all her life. But what I like about Lindsay a lot is that her vantage point, coming not from the marketing and business development that I come from, she brings in that CAM knowledge and that board knowledge and the management company knowledge. So she's worked for a corporate management company. She's worked on site. She's been a portfolio manager. She's been at one property. She then started her own association management company, Coastal Living. And her vantage point is really great for the vendor because she knows seasonal topics. She understands timelines. She understands what boards are looking for on a day-to-day basis because she's still a CAM and she operates at a multi-million-dollar facility down in New Smyrna Beach. Okay, so we created this program because we understand that technology is changing, and the days of you going into, bringing the coffee and the donuts to the management companies is great. But me having a management company for almost 10 years as a client, I also saw the managers kind of come in, take a business card, get a free cup of coffee, and get a donut and move along. We want to create lasting relationships forever, and our program helps to start that relationship. So with technology changing, so should your business as a vendor. If you're not providing some kind of education to CAMs and board members digitally, you may be a digital dinosaur, and that's okay. We can help you with that. Also, the demographic in the industry of HOA and COA associations is changing. What we're seeing in the field is a lot of the, there's no better words, the older community, they're dying off, and we are seeing a new influx of young professionals and young families moving into these HOA and COAs. And so we always say to any boards and any CAMs that you have to build the bench. And so who are these CAMs getting as their new board members? And if they're smart, they're getting young professionals who are busy, but they get it done. And so those types of professionals and decision makers, they don't have time to, go and meet with all the vendors. They would prefer to watch a vendor doing an education class and then deciding from there if they think that that vendor could potentially be a good fit for their property. Good help is hard to find. We find oftentimes that, there's budgets, let's be honest. It costs money to do all of this. And businesses add on more work to their current employees. And so they say, okay, Sally, you go and you figure out the DBPR process and you get us to become education providers, and go ahead, Sally, you get a webinar together on Zoom and figure out the cost of that, and go ahead and get a newsletter on Flowdesk, put that together. Good help is hard to find. It's all, because we're giving people more to do all the time instead of just outsourcing to the professionals. It's becoming more expensive to get in the game. You got to pay to play. And we used to run a lot of in-person events, not virtual events, for the management company that we worked for. We did the largest one in Volusia County. We put it all together. We got the underwriting, we did everything. And it costs, $1,500 just to have a booth at the very, like the smallest booth level. And it went up to $10,000 to participate, to get about 300 board members in attendance and to get the contact of those people. Well, for Webinar Wednesday right now, it's $950 a month. And you get that in one webinar. We're getting 200 attendees in one webinar. So it's becoming more expensive to get in front of these CAMs. And we think that our program is the best way to do it because it's virtual, it's at your desk, it's while you're traveling. I myself have run Webinar Wednesdays from like 3 countries. So it's the way that the world is now. I mean, it's been like this for a long time. And then more competitive marketing options. There's a lot out there for vendors to participate in. There's a million things that you could be doing to get in front of CAMs. But we've got the CAM list of over 31,000 in the state of Florida. We can identify, once they take the course, what counties they come from, and you get all that information. You get their email addresses, which is most important. So strategy is the solution for us. We always work smarter, not harder. We run a very efficient program here, and we continue to get better because we ask for feedback from our vendors and CAMs on a regular basis. Also, Lindsay, being a current CAM, she understands that, well, she knows what's going on from the state of Florida. The legislature every year is changing. And so she knows what education programs are going to be most relevant for CAMs to want to attend these courses. So by becoming an education provider through the DBPR, the Department of Business and Professional Regulation, we get that done for you. And then we create the classes for you. And then we do the marketing for you to get 200 people to attend your webinar. It's all through our program. We do it on the 2nd and 4th Wednesday of every month. We're going to be expanding into the 3rd Wednesday here soon. To date, we've gotten 6 new association allies in this year, and that's why we have to add a new date on. But getting your name and message in front of CAMs and homeowners is the key. Sorry, this is Lindsay's usual slide, so bear with me. Why and when you should be marketing to CAMs. I mean, all the time. You should be marketing to CAMs all the time because they look at their vendors as their toolbox. In their day, and Lindsay talks usually at this point about the day in the life of what a CAM goes through. And you could be the most organized CAM and you can have 10 years of experience like Lindsay, and you have a list of things to do on Wednesday, and you get to the office and the elevator went down. Or Mrs. Smith in Unit 4C had a flood. Her sprinkler system went off, and now you've got 4 other units below that are flooding. And so who does Lindsay need to call immediately? Well, she needs to have those vendors in her toolbox to be able to contact right away so that she can get the job done as fast and efficiently and as affordable as possible, because she's looking out for the best interest of the association, the board, and the ultimately all the residents. So by you being an education leader, it shows you as being an industry leader because you're able to tell boards and you're able to tell CAMs that you're approved by the DBPR and that you provide education. And through that education that you do on a monthly basis, it in turn plants seeds in the CAM's minds that you're one of the vendors that they should call when they're doing their bid process, or when they have an emergency, or when it's time to redo the roof or get the leak inspection. Also during spending season, when the CAMs have to put together these 3 bids, you want to be one of the 3. It's what we say all the time, be one of the 3. And the spending season, you have these CAMs, they're getting the budgets together, they're getting their storm plans together. They want to know who they want to bring in those 3 bids. And they may have forgotten about the roofing company that they, met at a networking event, which is also great. We think all of it is good, but then they get an email from us for Webinar Wednesday, and there's that roofing company providing a CE for HR, continuing education credit. And they're like, I need to jump on. And then they really liked what that vendor said. And they said, you know what, we're going to include them as one of the 3 bids. How to get into your CAM's inbox in a specific county and to create a pipeline. So again, when you participate in Webinar Wednesday, you get the whole database of all the attendees and the registrants. So I kind of said all this already, but we have a list of 31,000 CAMs and board members in the state of Florida. Once they take our classes, we can identify what counties they come from. The majority of our board member contacts are from Volusia, Flagler, St. John's, Duval, Lee, and Collier counties. And then the follow-up. So we recommend that after you do a webinar, what we do for you and as part of the package is we record, like I'm recording now, so that I can share this with the ones that couldn't participate today, but wanted the information. So we do the same thing for the vendors during Webinar Wednesday. We videotape it, we add it to their YouTube channel if they have one. If not, we add it to our YouTube channel. And then we send that out to the 31,000 as well. We've had association allies that have told us that they have received commercial contracts, to the tune of $3,000 a month. This is a landscaping company, or I'm sorry, this is a pool cleaning service company. They said that one of the board members actually saw the education class on YouTube and they contacted them. So you never know where it's going to come from, but we hit all of the platforms. We promote your participation on the social media side. We add the video to YouTube. We send the newsletter out weekly, and then, repeat the next month. So what we found is that in the beginning, we did one webinar for each vendor. And so we changed that to where everyone does Webinar Wednesday at the same time. Regardless of the attendance, your recorded webinars continue generating value. Like I said, I'm kind of in front of this because, again, Lindsay is usually here helping me. The database, again, I've talked about that. I want to stick to my time here for you. Yep, same thing. I mean, here, I already went over this. So when you work with us to get your class approved by the DBPR, Lindsay comes up with 5 topics for you based on what she knows as a CAM, based on the season. She sends and enlists the GPT agents that she has working for her. So she creates the list, she sends it to you, you pick 3. Now you can edit the 3 and say, and add this or take away this, but she comes up with the whole program. She gets the information she needs from you if you are not currently a licensed individual or business rather for the DBPR, and gets you through that process. She takes care of everything. You just give her your login for the DBPR. Then after you're approved to be an instructor, then she submits the 3 courses. She creates the PowerPoint that is done during Webinar Wednesday. And then once we get approved, it's off to the races. we start creating the custom marketing materials, which we have the following again of the 31,000 just on our email newsletter list, not counting our YouTube videos and our social media. Then we host the webinar where we introduce you. It's an hour course. And it's typically what we're seeing is that we introduce for about 5 minutes. And then the presenter is doing about 40 minutes, opening it up for 15 minutes of Q&A. And then you go back to your day. You didn't drive anywhere. You weren't hauling coffee all over the place. You didn't have to bring donuts. The people were like, where's the Krispy Kreme? And you brought Dunkin'. Like, we're done are those days. I believe in doing it, and it's great if it works for you, but we have just found that virtual events are just really where it's at and where you're getting the most bang for your buck. And then on-demand replay distribution through the YouTube. So you're getting more eyes on your content, your business name, you're developing more relationships, especially if you follow up with the list. So you'll get the list again of attendees, and we have 5 more minutes if you stick with me here. You get the list of all attendees, and then you get the list of all registrants within a few days of the webinar. My recommendation is that you follow up with them by sending them an email newsletter or just a private email and ask them if there's anything else that you can do for their business. And extended visibility by participating in the program every month. You're continuing to be there when they need you. They will remember your name. It's called TOMA, top of mind awareness. They will remember your name when they need your type of services. So we obviously didn't update this. We are past April here. But again, the program is $950 a month to participate in Webinar Wednesday. That price is going up June 15th. So this is a great time to make that commitment. We asked for a 4-month commitment because a lot of the work is done in the first month. So we're really not making any money until the second or third month. And so we asked for a 4-month commitment. And then to participate, and then some people have courses already that are approved, and so if they do, then that's just the $950. If you don't have a course approved, it's $500 for 3 courses if you're participating in Webinar Wednesday. If you just want the courses and want to do your own webinars, that's okay too. 3 courses are for $750 if you're not a Webinar Wednesday client. So I'm going to open it up. I have some questions here. Okay, the first question is, can we use our own courses on the webinar, or does it have to be the team design? Nope, you can definitely, if you have approved courses, it's just the $950 to participate, and we handle the submission process for you as well. So that's a lot too. You know, you have 200 people that attend. We handle the submission process to the DBPR for you. That'll save your team a lot of time. How many times a month do we get to put on SE during Webinar Wednesday? By becoming a Webinar Wednesday client, it's once a month. So you would either be on the 2nd or the 4th Wednesday, and then maybe the 3rd, depending on when you sign up. I also have had questions in the past that people said, you know, do you take more than one industry? We do. We have multiple pole vendors. We have multiple landscape vendors because we promote be one of the 3. Be one of the 3. And listen, the more you participate in our courses, the more context you're going to get. And so that will pay off. Okay, guys, I have 2 more minutes. If there are any other questions, we sincerely appreciate you being here. It's a great program. We're going on 2 years. We're continuing to build. We're continuing to grow. The reason that we're increasing our monthly fee is because we are providing more opportunities, more CAMs. We go in and we pull the CAM database from our contact on a quarterly basis. We also have our agents constantly working on pulling board member contacts. So our list and database is constantly growing. Our marketing reach is constantly growing, and our attendance is constantly growing. We had a course that had over 500 participants, which was wild because then we had to pay like $250 to Zoom because they charge after 500. But that's our cost. So we pay for the Zoom. You don't have to pay for Zoom. Everything that you pay for has been discussed, other than the state does require you to pay $250 annually to be an educator annually. How many commercial roofing companies are involved currently. I've got two prospects right now. We had one before. Their marketing girl decided that she was going to try it. I don't know if they have done it on their own, but currently not any. So maybe you. Okay, guys. One more minute here before my 25-minute is up. I appreciate you letting me speak fast. We have Webinar Wednesday coming up at 9:30 today. I'm sure that you got that link. If you want to pop on right at 9:30 and see how we introduce the program and how the first vendor speaks, we would love that. Then you can kind of see how it, well, then you can see how it works. We add the vendors into one. We try to only send one newsletter a month about Webinar Wednesday. Everything else is about participating with us because we want you to see that there are vendors constantly joining the program. And we want you to be able to pop on those webinars at any time to see what we do. I don't think I'm missing anything, and it's 9:05. So if there aren't any other questions, thank you for your time. I know it's very valuable. We respect time, and that's why we do these programs. And I hope to hear from you. And I'd love to work with you. Lindsay would as well. Have a great day, guys. Happy Wednesday to you on this holiday week where we're all playing catch up or barely working. One of the two. Have a good day.